Tonight on the super important show, the royal cat to outlast them all, the thing that Honey Badger does care about, and the guy allergic to orgasms, don't worry, he has a happy ending. I am one of your hosts, Destiny Adato, and before we begin, I need to introduce you to my other two hosts. First up, it's the lovely and wonderful Heather Jules Booth. Heather Jules Booth, how are you?
I'm shaking my head at your tagline.
Why?
Shaking my head at it. No, because it's an obvious joke, and
yes,
it's great.
And it's a stolen joke because the person who wrote the article incorporated it.
Yeah.
Before we continue, we need to bring in our other amazing co-host, our special guest for the evening, actor and comedian Suzanna Chmielarz. Sue, how are you?
Hello! I'm so excited to be on your show. This is going to be so fun. I cannot wait. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are wonderful, and we are happy to have you. Tell the audience at home a little bit about who you are. What's your story? What's going on?
What's my story? Okay. I am an actress. I'm an improviser, a comedian. I do improv in the city. I do sketch comedy in the city. And soon, maybe, I'll be doing some stand-up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
I know. Very exciting.
Yeah, let us know. We want to come see it.
Yes, I will let you know.
Heather, why don't you get us into our first segment?
Oh, I would love to. Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. World You Crazy. In case you are living under a rock, the most recent Prime Minister, Liz Truss, has stepped down after, 6 weeks? Yeah, 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But Larry the Cat outlasts his fourth UK Prime Minister. Larry the Cat is the chief mouser of number 10 Downing Street. He is 15 years old and he's served through 4 prime ministers. And Larry sent out his own tweet saying, "The king has asked me to become prime minister because this nonsense has gone on long enough." Which is pretty amazing that Larry has his own tweets. And actually, before I started down a rabbit hole while we were getting ready for this show, reading the other linked tweets. So Larry's had a bunch of adventures. Larry took a nap under a limo during a former president that we don't like, or that I personally don't like, visit to the UK in 2019. Larry got into a fight with another cat that lives across the street in another British business, which or like a parliamentary type. I couldn't tell what it was, but it was like some British official building. There was a video. I watched it. Larry was like, it's very funny. Please go down the rabbit hole because it's delightful. He's chased a fox. He got called out because there was a mouse at one point seen in the, I guess, the Parliament office, and everyone was like, "How dare he? He should resign." It's obvious that this cat is a wonderful source of entertainment for the people in England.
You want me to bring up his picture so everybody?
I would love you to bring up his picture. He's so cute. Look at him.
He looks like a little mischief.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's up to no good.
That's a cat. Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I see what you're saying, but I disagree. I feel like he's got a look of, I mean, and maybe all cats have this look, but he's got a look of like, what are you doing? Like, to me, like...
That's because they put something around his neck.
True. But he's got a little bit of like I'm a royal and you are garbage kind of like look in his eye.
He looks like he's gonna fight the cat across the street, though. He looks like he's gonna fight. You know, he looks like the guy.
He's definitely ready to fight the cat across the street.
That's what I'm saying.
I also have a problem with the title of Chief Mouser, just because I don't feel like unless there's a second Mouser, then him being chief feels like an inflated title. Like, I feel like he's just the Mouser.
Yeah, he's just the prime mouse sister. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell about?
No, he's great. He's, obviously whoever is sending out his tweets, because of course it's Larry. Right. But whoever is tweeting Larry's tweets are viral and really funny. And he's like, I'm going to be here longer than all the prime ministers. So I sure hope he is. Good, you know, it's a good cat. It's clearly a good cat. I wish I could go visit him. He looks really soft.
Oh.
I mean, I got to assume he's on the tour, right? Like,
Yeah, he's on the UK World Tour. He'll be coming around. Next cat
I
con.
guess he's like an indoor-outdoor cat. If he's having fights with like street cats, you know what I mean?
Apparently, most cats in the UK are partially outdoors. Like it's really common in the UK. So yeah, I think he just wanders around.
Does whatever he wants. He just
does what he wants. Fights with other political cats. Wouldn't it be funny if it turned out that there's like a whole political cat hierarchy?
Oh
That's
my
just a
god,
movie. That's a movie right there.
that's a movie.
Yeah.
A ridiculous cartoon. I do agree with Julia's comment that he does seem stodgy and British.
Stodgy and British, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for. I'm going to take that as a you backing me up kind of thing, which doesn't happen in chat very often. So.
Oh, Julia, look what you've started.
Just a little support would be nice. Just a little bit. And I'm taking it. Cool. Anything else, or we want to move on to our second story?
I think we're ready to move on.
All right.
I love cats. I don't know what else to say.
Cool.
Great story.
All right. Well, I think we're going from one. I never brought up the thing. I think we're going from one animal story to another. Sue, what do you got?
Okay, this is a wild story. So a woman is being accused of releasing bees on police because they were there to serve. They were there to serve her eviction notices. So the police are there. The police are there to serve eviction notices to the owner. I don't think she's even the owner. It must be like her husband or something like that. And then she shows up. Like the police are just posting up, like waiting to just serve this eviction notice. And then she comes along and just releases bees on them.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like, no, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And also like, she's kind of my hero. Like, I don't know. I think this is like
yeah. You said accused, but like she chucked some bees at people. Like there's no question.
There's no question that she definitely the article says began liberating the bees onto the cops, which is hilarious. And then a bunch of officers were attacked by the bees and stung by the bees. There were not only that, but there were protesters outside the house protesting the eviction so that she would not be arrested, which is another. She had like fans. She had fans. This bee lady has fans. Apparently she's like, she has lots of beehives and she like makes honey and stuff locally to like the people around. And this is the best part of the whole thing. They finally like get her down on the ground. First she puts a bee suit on so that she can protect herself.
Yeah, I got the picture if you want it.
Oh, there's a picture. Yes. So she puts a bee suit on so that she can continue flinging bees at the cops without herself being injured. And then they eventually, more cops come because they had to retreat. And then they eventually get her down to the ground and they get her in the car. And apparently another deputy is reported saying, like when she's in the car, she said to them, "Oh, you're allergic? Good."
Oh my God. Wow.
What an icon.
Wait, so I have a question. Does the story go into like why she was being evicted?
It doesn't go into why.
Too many bees.
I wondered. I mean, I did wonder if the bees had something to do with it.
But she was charged with multiple felony charges of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. The bees.
Mm-hmm. The bees. Yep.
I love that they called the bees a dangerous weapon. She pleaded not guilty, and she was released without having to post bail, apparently.
What? I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with her.
Yeah, no. This is in New Hampshire.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay,
New Hampshire.
here's my question.
Wow.
Here's my question.
Amazing.
What's the end game here? Did she assume, because she wasn't even there to like get arrested. She drove up.
She came up. She wasn't there.
Right. So like, is she assuming that like, okay, I'll throw some bees at people and then they'll just go away forever and I can live here now? Like what, like if you play it out, what's the best thing that that the people just go like, well, she's got super bee powers.
I think it's exactly what I was saying before. I wouldn't mess with her. So I think she hoped that everyone was going to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Who knows where else the bees are? She may have like put them somewhere.
Does she not think that maybe like they can also afford a bee outfit? Like they're not that expensive.
Yeah, I don't know that she thought ahead that far.
Okay.
But I'm also curious about this. Like, she had a fan base.
She had protesters that wanted. Yeah.
This is fascinating.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Is she the neighborhood bee lady? This is what I want to know. I'm gonna have to.
I mean, I'm gonna guess she is. I mean, if she has the bees and she makes honey for like the neighbors, people are like, no, don't take our honey away.
Don't take our bee lady.
But you do lose the moral high ground when you throw bees at people, right? Like,
you lose the ability to negotiate. I think once you've thrown bees at people,
because it's twofold. Okay, there's the assault part of it. There's no question that throwing a beehive at a person is assault. Two, if you care about the bees, don't throw them at people. Like, shouldn't you be concerned about the well-being of your bees in the beehive? Like, that seems like somebody who doesn't care about bees. So I feel like she's lost on both sides, even though, Sue, I know she's your hero.
You know,
tell me why. Tell me why.
Just like, you know, like, what if you have a boyfriend that's coming, you know, to, like, you're just like, I got these bees, get out of here, I'm gonna throw them at you. You know, like, it's just like, it works on so many levels.
It does work on, it's true.
Sue, in the future, like, maybe use your words. Like, if you're, you know, like, if you want to, don't get me wrong, a breakup works by throwing a beehive at somebody.
That's what happened.
I think it's really creative.
It's creative, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why it's different. It's not like, you know, a gun would be so easy. You know, anybody can go out and get a gun these days. But bees?
Hold on.
I like a beehive.
Are we talking about the cop thing or a breakup thing? Because, like, are you incorporating a gun into your breakup? Is that like a thing where you're like, hey, we're done. No, get the fuck out. Like, is that how breakups go? Is that something that everybody should know? Like,
listen, okay. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't own a gun. I don't have a gun. But I'm saying, like, it's easy it's not easy, but, like, anybody can have a gun and, like, go out to the cops and be like, don't evict me. But throwing bees is original.
It's very creative.
But I just want to be clear one more time.
Oh my God, here we go. That
in terms of breaking up with somebody, the fact that you don't have a gun is not a reason to not use a gun in a breakup. You should just not use a gun. Even if you had one, leave it in a box for a breakup. That's all I'm saying.
I've never used a gun in a breakup. I don't intend to.
Okay.
We're going down.
Wait, hear me out though. I think I know what's going to work for everybody.
Okay.
It's a Nerf gun full of bees.
No. Also, I vote no on that. Like,
I think that's the way to go.
And then, like, after it just goes in like a bee bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just saying throw a smaller amount of bees at somebody. Don't throw a whole hive.
Like a concentrated
irresponsible.
Amount.
But throwing like
I mean, if you destroy that hive, the bees can't come back. Like,
right, but if you throw like 6 bees at somebody, that's okay.
I mean, you got to probably throw more than 6 to really like do some bee damage. But thank you, Joy. Joy is in support of my Nerf bee gun.
I'm sure she is.
Wow, it's like you've talked about it. It's like, I'm sure she is.
Sue, is there anything else you want to cover in this story?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we came full circle on this.
All right. Cool. Okay, then that brings us to my story. Now, let me get my information up in front of me, because there's a lot. Normally there's not a lot of details in the stories that I do because they're the stories where it just basically says fart, and then I just talk about how people fart a lot. I'm not going to say that that's not also partially true with this story, but I want to get all the details together. So, as I mentioned in the teaser, there is an allergic reaction that a person could have, known as post-orgasmic illness syndrome, or POIS for short. And
that's my favorite part of this. That's what it's called.
And in that syndrome, when a person has an orgasm, they immediately have a very allergic and negative reaction. It occurs almost exclusively in men. There are probably jokes there that can be made, but I will not make them.
Yeah, the joke is finally.
So when a person with POIS has a reaction, the reaction is often similar to hay fever or the flu. Following ejaculation, and sometimes people will have fatigue, itchy eyes, stuffy or runny nose, and my favorite part, memory problems.
Oh my god.
Yes. So, in theory, a person could have an orgasm and then go, I don't remember that. And then just sort of keep doing it. And these symptoms, it's not like this thing like happens and then you have some like time. For some people, it occurs like, first of all, it occurs after pretty much every orgasm. And it usually occurs within seconds, but it can occur with hours later, and it lasts from 2 to 7 days. It's a thing that affects roughly 1,000 people in the U.S., but is very limited research on it because it only occurred to 1,000 people in the U.S. So there's like a couple of articles on it, but not all that much. So this particular article was referencing a 27-year-old man whose name was not given and whose picture was not offered. I am not surprised by either of those facts because this guy probably did not want to talk about it a whole ton. But he was 27. He started experiencing the symptoms around 18 when he had some sort of infection that brought it on, which basically meant he abstained from any sort of like physical, sexual, or like, completion or whatever, if you will, since from like 18 to 27. So he had like a 9-year kind of thing. He got the flu symptoms and hives every time he came to completion. But as I mentioned before, there is a positive ending. There's a happy ending to this story in that at first they tried basically like whatever you would normally give to somebody who has like allergies, and it didn't work. Enter Allegra, and Allegra actually worked. Allegra, if he took it every day, had enough of a long-term effect that he could go back to being sexually active in whatever way that he wanted to be, and he was totally fine. So that's the story of this 27-year-old guy. This feels like a very, very cruel way to be allergic to things. I know that there are significantly more like deadly and horrific ways that you can be allergic to things, but this seems like a real bummer. This seems like something that is super unfun. What are your guys' thoughts?
I just want to call out Joy says, are all of the men adulterers? It'd be a good way to honestly say, oh, as far as I know, I've never had sex with that person.
True.
How long does his memory loss last?
Yeah, I like
right.
Last 7 days?
Yeah, 5 to 7 days.
I like the part where it says
anything, like a short-term memory.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. Like, because those are the college years, and so this is the first thing that I was thinking of. I feel like a lot of people in college, or not a lot of people, some people might have like, if they have like a significant other, like little like studying for whatever this is the scenario that I went with. Like little like studying sex rewards. Like, hey, if we both study for our midterms tonight, we totally do it. And then
what?
Like that, like that's a thing. It's a thing. And then they go and they'd have sex, and then the person would instantly forget everything they studied, and it'd be a huge bummer for like multiple reasons. In addition to like the person also getting the flu. I'm saying that's a bad thing to happen for that case. Nobody else ever had that? Neither of you ever had like the study for sex
No.
rewards? No?
No,
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Well, I am nerdier than you two. So there you go.
Wow.
I also feel like it means that you can't, like, this is super important because it means that you can't have sex without having like negative repercussions, but it means you can't even like do anything else.
Well, this is the thing that I thought was so interesting about this article, because that's what that made me think of. I was like, wait a minute. So this person can't do anything. And then I was like, what happens if they're asleep? You know, like, do they just wake up one morning and they're like, why am I itchy? And it's like things happen while they slept.
That by that age, that's very uncommon. That's more of like
okay.
yeah.
I don't have a man body, so
yeah, no, that's more of like a 12-year-old white breeze will kind of send you over the edge kind of thing. But
I was just here living this belief that it's just at any time randomly, who knows.
No, but by 18, for the vast majority of people, like you're good. Like at that point, you know, you're not gonna get messed up by that.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I just feel like it's like, cause I think like even if you, cause like assuming the guy's in college, I'm assuming at 18, the person's off in college, and like you generally know whether or not, like within a certain amount of like accuracy, whether or not your roommate like did it with somebody the night before. Either they were like in your place and you had to like not be around, or like they stayed over somewhere else, and you know. So then like if all of a sudden like the guy wakes up the next day and like has flu symptoms and he didn't, then everybody knows like, oh, you know, you had some alone time, and now you got to like fucking explain that to everybody. It just feels like that's just a mean thing to do to that poor guy. But he's okay now because of Allegra, and Allegra didn't even make a commercial about it.
That's the other thing I was thinking of. I was like, can you imagine you're the people that work at Allegra and that story comes out and you know it got sent around, like at least in an internal memo.
Right.
And now everyone's just like, look what we did.
Look what we did.
Yeah.
Go us.
Yeah. Also, Dustin, I don't know if we want to point out who brought us this story.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of us all perform at the Armory, and one of the amazing people who we occasionally get a chance to perform with at the Armory is a guy by the name of Eddie Cara, and he actually wrote this story.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that was not related. I was clicking through the stories, and I couldn't. Sometimes I read them ahead, sometimes I don't. I saw your headline, and I was like, I need to know what this is. And I clicked it, and I was like, oh, this is by Eddie. Cool.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And before we continue, our normal reminder to please like and subscribe. It helps us a ton. It helps the other people who know that the video is fun, and it helps us remind you when we have additional content coming up. So if you can like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. So I think now is the time for us to go to What the Fact. If I remember correctly, as I get my system set over for What the Fact. In this segment, if you've not seen it before, we ask a trivia question to Heather and Sue, something that they probably will not know the answer to, but who knows? And then they and you fine folks in the chat will get an opportunity to answer it, and I will tell you the final result. So let's see what we have. Okay. A few years back, actually, it was originated by some folks in Europe, created a robot called Hitchbot. And the idea behind Hitchbot was that it would hitchhike across the different countries, and it would send back information about what was going on. And it hitchhiked through Europe, then it hitchhiked its way through Canada, and then it came to the U.S. and very quickly met its demise once it got to the U.S. So my question to you is, what was the fate of Hitchbot? Was it that he was arrested for entering Mississippi for being a spy? Was it that he had his arms and head ripped off his very first day in Philly? Or was it that he disappeared in Alabama after sending a picture of a shotgun? Sue, I will come to you first. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with B.
You're gonna go with B, that it got decapitated.
Decapitated in Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What makes you say that? Is something about Philly?
It's a robot. I just feel like it's a robot on its own, and then you come into the U.S. We're a bunch of savages. We're just gonna kick it and do things to it. That's regardless if it's in Philly or not. That's irrelevant. I just was like, someone demolish this thing. Someone just beat it up.
Okay. Heather, while you're thinking of your answer, I will bring up the image of the bot. Where are we? That is Hitchbot.
Oh yeah, someone beat it up.
Yeah, there's Hitchbot waiting to get picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, look at its little rubber boots.
I know, it looks so cute.
What does it say on it? Extra BC or bust? Something BC or bust.
Yeah, I think that
maybe
probably...
it's like Columbia. Yeah, like British Columbia or something.
Yeah. Heather, what is your answer? And then I will show you the
I know this.
result.
I think I know this story. I've heard this story before, and I'm like 98% sure it is B.
You're 98% sure it is B? Okay.
Joy says it looks like an air purifier. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was in fact decapitated in Philly.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm like very sure that it's that. But even if it's not that, it wouldn't be that.
Well, then I will answer that question with an image, which is not here. Where'd you go, image? Ah, god damn it. All right. Well, I had the image of the bot being destroyed, but it is not working for whatever reason. I didn't test it beforehand. So yes, in fact, the answer is, come on, you jerk.
Philly. It's Philly.
Yeah, it is Philly. It had its arms and had its ripped off.
Yeah, I mean,
Philly.
that's like the most Philly thing.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's a very Philly thing.
All right, so let's move on to question number 2. Everybody knows the honey badger meme of honey badger don't care. People never stop to think about how honey badgers actually get their honey, because they are in fact named honey badgers. So, and Heather, I will come to you first. In terms of how honey badgers get their honey, is it that they don't? Their name just comes from the fact that they're actually very sweet animals. Is it B, that they shake beehives until the bees sting them and die, basically just badgering bees? Or is it C, they emit a foul-smelling liquid from their anal glands that makes the bees flee?
Oh my god.
So Heather, which of those is the actual way the honey badgers collect their honey?
Oh my god. I mean, I really want it to be C, because C is amazing. I feel like it's B. Because I feel like it's not going to be a spoiler that there's no honey involved. So I think I could, and I feel like looking at them, I feel like I could see them going up to a tree and being like, Joy is commenting that maybe that lady in our story was actually a honey badger, which
it's
I think is a very fair tie-in.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't see into the mask, so it's possible it was.
It's very possible she's just 2 honey badgers in a coat and a beekeeper outfit. I'm going to go with B.
Okay.
I'll go with B, but I will not be unhappy if it's C.
Okay. All right. C, what do you think?
I also think it's B. That's the one where they shake it and then the bees bite them and then they die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because honey badgers can come back to life, right? They get stung and then they're like dead and then they're like, I'm alive again.
I don't know that one, but I like to think that that's true.
I think it's true. So
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna go with B.
Okay.
But again, like Heather, if it is C, I will not be disappointed.
Okay.
C's pretty great.
So I'll reveal the answer in a second. The truth is that actually, no, I'll reveal the answer and then we'll talk about it. The answer is C.
Oh
my god, it's butt liquid.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, technically, honey badgers have such thick skin and such thick fur that they can be stung by bees, and it really has little to no effect on them. So frequently, they will just get stung a lot. But scientists say that they actually emit a foul-smelling liquid that scares most of the bees away, and then they just deal with whatever remaining bees stick around. So
Wow.
That feels like a thing. I tried to find video of it. Surprisingly, there's not a ton of video for honey badgers emitting foul-smelling liquid from their butts. But
I'm very surprised.
Yeah,
Me too.
it was shocking.
That seems like something nature people would be all over.
That's what I mean. All over. Where's the Discovery Channel?
That's also, I think that's the second beat for that lady in her house.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Which brings us to our third question. Now, this one might require, again, some knowledge, so I will go. Are you guys familiar with D.B. Cooper? I will take that silence as a no.
Maybe. Maybe you tell the story. I'll remember it.
So D.B. Cooper was one of the few successful plane hijackers. He basically asked for a bunch of money, got a bunch of money, then jumped out of an airplane, never to be seen again. There's speculation that he died upon landing or whatever. There's speculation that he never really existed. Also, D.B. Cooper is wrong because his name was David or something along those lines, and somebody else added the B. But I stuck with D.B. Cooper because that's how people would know him. So D.B. Cooper had a copycat by the name of Glenn K. Tripp, who also did basically the same thing. He hijacked a plane. While the plane was on the ground, he had a bunch of demands, and he was on the plane for 10 hours waiting, trying to convince everybody to give him his thing. So he initially demanded $600,000 and for the FBI to go kill his boss. But at some point during that 10 hours, one of the flight attendants, because he kept asking for water and different drinks, put Valium into his water, enough to sort of get him a little calmer. So over the course of those 10 hours, he slowly, his demands slowly got less and less. So it went from $600,000 and killing his boss to which of these three things?
Free snacks.
Close. 3 cheeseburgers and a head start getting away.
Oh my God.
$700 and a signed Joe Namath football.
Oh my God.
Or C, just to talk to Brooke Shields on the phone for once. It's one of these three things. Sue, I'm going to come to you first because I feel like in your heart you know the answer to this, but
I feel my heart wants to say the cheeseburgers and a head start.
Okay.
That's what I want to say.
Why? Why? What makes you come to that?
Because at this point he's just tired.
Yep.
He's been there for 10 hours. He's probably hungry. Mm-hmm. And he wants to get away. He doesn't want to get caught. So
it's like, give me 3 cheeseburgers and count it. And count to 10 Mississippi before you come after me.
Count to 10. Close your eyes. Let me go.
Okay. Heather, what's your thought?
I'm with Sue. I'm going with A because I'm going with the fact that my gut instinct before you put these choices up was food. Mm-hmm. That I was like, he's gonna ask for snacks. He's gonna ask for the little packets of cookies.
Right, but they're on the plane. They're on the plane. They have peanuts on the plane, guys. They have.
They gave this guy. They were slipping this guy Valium. But this guy's at the point where this logic. It logics to him. He's like, there's some cheeseburgers. Hey, just do me a favor. When we land, just give me a head start. Just a little head start, okay? Just a little head start. And they're probably just like, okay, sure, yeah. Okay. So I'm going with A. Okay.
The actual answer is that you're both right. It is that he asked for 3 cheeseburgers and a head start.
It's just 3. I love that it's 3.
So similar to the way the previous story, similar to the way the story before had a happy ending, this one bizarrely kind of has a weird ending. In that he did get the 3 cheeseburgers, he did get the head start. He did not get away. And he was caught.
What?
So then he went to prison for 7 months. When he got out of prison, he immediately hijacked the same plane.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No.
This time.
Did he get away with it the second time?
He did not. He got shot by snipers the second time because they were not having it.
No, that's not what don't even.
So
For this guy.
that's what I'm saying. It's a darker ending to the story.
Sorry that I'm laughing at it being what is essentially very tragic, but
Right.
it's just the fact that I can see them just being like, no, fuck this. Absolutely
Right.
not. Like the first time they were like, this is kind of funny. And then they're like, no, absolutely not.
He was barely out of prison. And he immediately hijacked the same fucking plane that he hijacked the first time. Figuring that oh, I got it this time.
Wow.
I know what I did wrong.
Right. I know what I did wrong.
Yeah. This time
Next time
we're
I'll ask
golden.
for 5 cheeseburgers.
This time I'm bringing my own water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wow!
yeah.
What a story.
So Glenn Tripp was not as successful as DB Cooper, depending on how successful you think
wild.
DB Cooper was.
Well, I think DB Cooper was pretty successful. He was never found or caught. Like they say, people are like, "Oh, did he die?" But he was never caught.
Right.
I think he got $200,000 and he jumped out of a plane.
Yeah, that's
and then we
way
ever
better
found
than
him,
cheeseburgers.
yeah. So he had a plan. Was a man with a plan, and whether he died or not, nobody ever found him. Nobody ever found his body.
Wow! I'm literally reading. I did not know this. I'm reading about this right now.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Glenn Tripp or DB Cooper?
DB Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah, that guy's that. You know what? That guy's my hero. Forget the bee lady.
Okay.
Forget the bee lady.
Yeah.
That guy's my hero.
yeah, because Glenn is not my hero. Because Glenn is
No, not
an
Glenn.
idiot.
He's an idiot.
He was kind of entertaining until
Well, they killed
until he did it again, and then they killed him. Yeah, and then you were just
Yeah.
like, well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to feel bad when he you just
Yeah.
you just got out you know you know you're bad at this. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Julia is sharing some more facts. I didn't know this. Julia says the money was never spent, which is why they think that DB Cooper died. That's interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
How did they
What
know
would
it
you
was
do?
never- how did they know it was never spent?
I assume they would have been able to track it or something if it was cash. They probably got serial numbers and could trace it.
Yeah, there's
Because I've watched heist movies. In fact, Julia says, indeed, serial numbers.
Thank you for being the research wing of our show, Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
All right, is it? I believe then.
Wait, wait. Hold
Okay,
on.
okay.
So there's just $200,000 in cash somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
in theory,
in the
if you think of it,
forest
yeah, if he really
Like,
did
if
die,
he died and the serial numbers were never found or used or spent or whatever, there's just
Yeah.
$200,000 cash.
there could just be
somewhere where
$200,000
DB
cash
comes out of the
sitting
plane.
somewhere.
right. So what you're suggesting is treasure hunt.
Yes!
You got to do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, everyone. Summer's coming.
Summer's coming.
Summer's coming. Let's do it.
I don't think you understand how calendars work, but okay. I mean, it is coming eventually. I agree, it is coming
Correct.
eventually.
That's right.
Right, but it's
You
easier.
gotta go.
But it's easier to
gotta go.
find now that the leaves are off the trees, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Exactly right.
All right,
That's
yeah.
exactly right.
Let me have my dream, okay? Summer's coming.
Someone's gonna get that money.
Yeah. Why not? Why not us?
Why not
Why not
us?
us?
Exactly.
All right, Heather, do you want to get us into our
Oh my gosh,
third
yes,
segment?
that's right.
which
We
is
have
Would You Rather?
Would you rather? Oh, oh my gosh, this question. Okay, so would you rather?
Oops, why did it go to that? I don't
What
know
did you
why.
go to? I have my question. Oh,
It went to the
That's
robot.
because-
I don't know why it went to the robot.
because it's great. The robot's great. So would you rather only be able to speak in riddles, or would you rather only always sound sarcastic? Sue, I will go to you first as you are the guest.
I think I would rather speak in riddles. Sarcasm is fun, but it can be mean sometimes. So I'd rather be a weird little riddle person than someone who's mean. Right? That's my answer.
I think that's it's a fair answer. Dustin, what say you?
Okay, so before I answer this question, it assumes a world where I am single because because the answer makes more sense if I'm single in this scenario. Because as usual, my answers always come back to one of two things, which is bank heist or picking up chicks. So
what would DB Cooper do?
Right. So in this case, like if you sound sarcastic all the time, then everybody's like, fuck you. But if you speak in riddles all the time, then ladies are like, oh, this guy's mysterious. And he's like clever. And like, I'm interested because I never know exactly what he's saying because everything's always like so confusing that he must be like, you know, one of those like, you know, like real deep people who like plays guitars and stuff like that. So I feel like in this scenario, I'm going to go with speaks in riddles because like it has a much better positive effect in a world where I'm single. I am not trying to pick up any chicks in this current world because I already have a wonderful one that I am going to spend the rest of my life with before she comments in the chat. And she's right there. She can hit me with a stick. So I'm going to go with, or bees. So yeah, I'm going to go with speaks and riddles because of all the reasons I explained. How about you, Heather? What do you think?
Joyce says she was typing as you spoke.
Yeah.
I went back and forth on this one actually because I had a moment at first when I first read it where I was like, oh, always sounds sarcastic because I like to make very dry, sarcastic jokes. But then I was thinking about it more and more, and I was like, it kind of hits back on what you said, Dustin, in terms of like,
you want to pick up chicks?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. I enjoy being sarcastic, but I'm never intentionally trying to be sarcastic to be mean. And then it made me think that I think what I'm actually trying to say is that I like to be very dry. Like I like to like sit and make very dry observations about things where I'm just like, oh, and it's always, there is a tinge of sarcasm. Like I'm definitely sarcastic, but I think because I wouldn't want to always be like, I like to use sarcasm and that sort of dryness for humor and to be funny. So because I wouldn't want to end up just being a giant dick, I think I'll go with speak in riddles. Also because I feel like it could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And like, it could be a fun way to sort of play with people. And like, I kind of enjoy that too. Like it could be its own fun sort of jokey thing where you're just like, speaking in riddles. Yeah. I've also done Star Trek episodes about this kind of stuff.
I also assume that, like, given the magical worldness of this whole thing, that if I'm thinking of a thing, that like that the universe will translate it into a riddle. That I don't always have to like think of the riddle because that's harder if you want to say like, hey, pass me the salt, and you have to come up with a riddle. To like
magic table powder.
Yes.
I don't know why I did a Yoda voice immediately. A bad one, but yeah.
Yeah. If I have to think of my own riddles, I don't know that. I think I would just end up being mute. I would just not talk. I don't know. It's hard to think of. It's hard to think of like riddles to an everyday conversation. You know. I
kind of want I want it to be both. I want it to be a world where it's both, where you can have the riddles made for you, or you can choose to try and make your riddles. Maybe that's half the fun. I
know I'm bad at it, and here. Okay, so my sister is unlike me in every single way. She's a mountain, like she's a rock climber. She like lives out in like, well, she lives in Salt Lake City, but like she lived out in like the woods of Wyoming without electricity for years. Like her and I are not anything like similar in the ways that we like to live our lives. And so when she came to visit a little while ago, she was like, hey, something that my boyfriend and I like to do is just try and like solve riddles. So I was like, you guys just do that? She's like, yeah, sometimes we'll just sit around and like try and figure out a riddle for like 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, what are the words that you're saying? So she
that is the riddle.
Yeah. So she told like my dad and I like one of the riddles, and I think it took us like 5 minutes to be like, just tell us the fucking answer. Like I'm not like like we got so mad about it. So that's the other part of it, is that like if I only could communicate with somebody else in riddles and I never solve them, I think I might like, I'd really like, no, just be a dick to me. Just don't be a dick to me.
Just
So I
be
don't.
sarcastic.
Yeah. So I don't have to like do fucking math all the time and like do logic problems and get it like a dry erase board every time I want to know what you're saying. So I
I'm not
can
putting
see,
math. I'm not putting math in my riddles.
You don't know. If the universe is giving it to you, it might.
Oh.
I don't like
That's
this
part
anymore.
of it. See? It's a tough one. I like it when they're tough ones. Do we want to move on to question number 2? Do we want to move on to Sue's question?
Yes.
so.
Yes. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. If you were paid $10 million and you had to banish, you were forced to banish a holiday forever, and everybody knows in the world that it was you that banished this holiday, which holiday would you pick? Christmas, New Year's, or Thanksgiving? Everybody knows that it's you, but you get paid $10 million, and nobody can celebrate this holiday ever again.
All right. Who you want to go first?
Dustin, you go first.
This is a tough. Okay. The initial thought would be Thanksgiving because everybody outside of the U.S. does not care about Thanksgiving. It's not a holiday to them because why would it be? So you're like, well, I'm going to piss off the least number of people if I say Thanksgiving. However, we have all the guns and people really like Thanksgiving. So I feel like there's a decent chance that if I'm the one who killed Thanksgiving, that I will get murdered with said guns. So I'm going to go with New Year's because New Year's is the holiday that everybody feels like is real exciting, and it is for like a small amount of time. But then like it's not all that in that same kind of way. Like Christmas, free stuff. Thanksgiving, don't get murdered. New Year's, I feel like is the way to go in this scenario. So,
Okay.
that's my logic.
That's fair. No. That's good logic. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Heather, how do you feel about it?
I'm still wrapping my brain around the fact that the reason you won't pick Thanksgiving is because you're assuming that people are going to come at you with guns for it.
Yeah.
What if they come at you with bees? What if they come at you with bees?
Ooh.
I can wear a bee outfit, but I can't I'm not gonna wear like Kevlar everywhere.
Go get a bulletproof vest.
Well, I have good news for you, Dustin, because your wife is on your side.
Wow.
Joy says you are making a good point.
Look at that. That's so weird.
So it's easy. So the easiest part of this is to say that I would absolutely keep Christmas. Like, I like it. I know it's like not everyone celebrates it, but there's just something very like, I don't know. There's just something really fun about it. And like there's something very, I hate to say magical. It sounds so stupid, but like, I don't know. It's cold and it's a day and it's got all the music. So I'm keeping Christmas.
Okay.
I can't decide if for $10 million, if I want to get rid of Thanksgiving and just tell everyone in the world, like, sorry, but you can choose to celebrate with your family and eat a lot of food anytime. Or New Year's, because I don't know. Because New Year's, you have a really good point. Like New Year's is super fun. And I've had a lot of fun New Year's, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Gotta pick one.
I know. I'm so confused. I literally just stuck my fingers in my nose because I was so confused of how to pick.
That does seem like a logical reaction. Do we need to get Sue's answer and come back to you?
I have an answer. So we can circle back to you. We'll circle back.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So I would also easily, for $10 million, get rid of New Year's.
Okay.
Easy. Everybody is like, oh my God, what are you doing for New Year's? It's gonna be so great. And it's always like pretty disappointing. Mm-hmm. I've had a couple of fun New Year's, but like you get dressed up and you like, and what? And then you're just like, oh, okay, cool. This could have been like any other night of the year. Like to me, it's just like all hype, all whatever. Like, yeah, okay, great, fireworks. Just there's fireworks on the 4th of July, you know.
Because New Year's is just like a party, but like 5 minutes to midnight, you turn on the TV and watch Ryan Seacrest like count down, and then you're done.
Yeah, it's fun. But like, whatever. Like, I love Thanksgiving and I love Christmas, so I'm not getting rid of those. And it's not about I don't think anybody would kill me. I just love them, so.
Okay, but they would. So. Definitely would.
I know. So I vote New Year's. Canceling it. Banishing it forever for $10 million.
Okay.
I have no qualms about it. Give me that money.
That's right. We do get money for this.
Yeah.
Get money for it.
And so the reason I think people would shoot you for Thanksgiving is because people get up in arms about like Columbus Day when people said, hey, maybe we should call it like Indigenous Peoples Day. And people were like, fuck you. Like, stop trying to ruin my history and stuff like that. And it's like, guys, he never even got here. Like, just because you got taught some shit in first grade, like, it doesn't make it right.
I saw some serious shit this year. Like, I feel like, I feel like every year I see it, but I feel like this year I saw some of the most just disturbing shit that I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're getting that worked up about Columbus Day, like, imagine a day where you get to eat and watch football.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The day where you get to eat. I mean,
Football.
again, I still would look at people and say, hey, pick a day. Pick a day that's important to your family and go, this is the day we all get together. We all hang out. We all eat.
Yeah, but it's not the same because like a lot of people have off on Thanksgiving. There's no work on Thanksgiving. So it's like a whole thing.
And it is like the 1-2 punch of holidays of like, it's a depressing time of year in theory because it gets cold and everyone's like, oh, the days are short, and you know that you have those things to look forward to. I guess I will go with New Year's. I guess I'll go with New Year's.
Nice.
It's a tough pick for me, though.
Here's another reason why I think people would like be crazy is, you know what would be really great for them to do on Thanksgiving? Make it on a goddamn Friday. Like, if you made it on a Friday...
I do agree.
Because how many people have to, like, take a vacation day for that day or some bullshit, like, or have to work on Friday? Like, just, it's on a Thursday because of magic.
But...
Like, it's on a Thursday for no reason. It could be on a Friday just the same. But if you tried to make it on a Friday, people would get so mad because it's traditionally on a Thursday.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got everybody's answer. Does that mean we're ready for question number 3?
And
we're all New Year's.
And I believe a relative of yours is saying that for 10 million, they would get rid of all 3, which I think is an appropriate answer.
Okay. I believe that's my father.
There you go.
Because I can't read the name, but it looked like Morrow, and it's my dad.
Yes, it is. It is.
Cool.
Okay.
I mean, I know who my father is. I'm not trying to...
That's a relief. Yeah. That's good. It's a good thing you didn't cancel Thanksgiving. That would have been awkward.
Yes. All right. Question number 3. Okay, so question number 3. You have to fight something to the death. In this scenario...
I always love these questions.
You're fighting something to the death, and you have choices. You can either fight a dragon with 15 of your closest friends, fight a tiger with 3 of your closest friends, or fight an ostrich all by yourself. See, I'm going to come to you first.
Do we have weapons?
Yes,
weapons?
yeah. Assume like swords and stuff like that. Like nothing, no guns. Assume anything that like a knight would have, except for the ostrich fight. In the ostrich fight, it's just whatever you got going on right now.
It's you and the ostrich. Okay.
Yeah, for the dragon and the tiger, like you need something, you know.
Okay.
What is your choice?
I am gonna go with fight a tiger with 3 friends.
Okay. What's your thought process?
Well, the dragon probably breathes fire, so we're all gonna just die. Like, it doesn't matter if we have swords or not. Like, it's just it can fly. It can just pick us up with its talons, throw us, eat us. You know, it's just we won't win that battle. Ostriches are crazy, and if I don't have a weapon, I'm not fighting that thing. I'm gonna run away. They're nuts.
Right. Everybody says you can choke it, but you can't choke an ostrich. Their throats are like so strong.
They are crazy. So I don't want to be near one of those, especially alone, unarmed. Just me and the ostrich? No. I would die. So the fight with the tiger, and I could have a weapon, and I have 3 friends. I feel like that's our best bet. You know, it doesn't breathe fire. It can't fly away. I mean, we might all still die. I mean, it's possible, but I feel like it's our best chance.
Okay. I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm excited for that answer because I put ostriches in Would You Rather questions pretty frequently, and everybody underestimates the ostrich. So I am excited for the fact that you appreciate the damage that an ostrich can cause.
Oh, ostriches are nuts.
Yeah,
they
thank
are
you.
Crazy. They're crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Heather, what is your thought?
So first of all, I did not know ostriches are nuts, and now I can't wait to Google this afterwards.
Yeah,
this is not a fact I knew.
If they kick you, they got like sharp ostrich will fuck your shit up.
It's like a dinosaur.
Wow.
It's like a modern dinosaur.
Y'all, we have someone in the chat who has already answered this question. Julia has been bitten by an ostrich. She says they are vicious.
Really?
She's lived to tell the tale, so.
But you would. So, Julia, what is, based on the fact that you've done this, what is your answer to this question?
Put that in the chat, Julia. So I absolutely. This question is so Julia says Julia chooses dragon with 15 friends.
Okay.
So for me, part of the answer to this question is just pure sentiment, which is I could never kill a tiger. I just couldn't. I couldn't. They look like my cat. They look like big cats. I would not be able to do it. So I got to take the tiger out. I'm not going to fight a tiger. Tiger comes at me. I'm just going to be like, okay. I leaned towards dragon because I was like, dragon, and it's with 15 friends. We've got a chance. But I also was like, but they can fly and they breathe fire.
Yeah.
So I think I gotta go with the ostrich, even though it's as you know, and I'm getting a little more doubt now that I've heard that they're crazy. But I think I'm gonna go with that because I think the dragon is just gonna be like, this is a joke, right? And just breathe fire on all of us, and then we're just dead. And then I've also like 15 of my friends are dead too. So I'm gonna go with ostrich alone. What happens, happens.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
At first, I thought dragon, but you guys made a solid point that probably no matter how many people I had, dragon's gonna win. Ostrich never stood a chance because ostriches will, like I said, ostriches are too underestimated. The tiger thing, I'm gonna go with tiger. It also kind of depends on your definition of friend. Like if you could just claim a person as a friend and then say that, because it'd be real good to have like a sacrificial person in this scenario. So like if there's one person that you've been meaning to get rid of anyway, you'd be like, okay, you distract him while we do something, and then God.
I cannot believe you're just like, okay, but define friend for me.
Right. Just because like if it's a legitimate friend, then we'll figure some shit out. But if you can just say like, oh, this person who's really my enemy is also my friend, then great. Then we have person who you.
What kind of twisted Jesus shit are you working out to take these people with you to sacrifice them to the tiger? I'm just gonna posit that.
I hope they make it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that it's a lot easier to take the tiger down if it's busy eating somebody than it is if it's fighting all four of us at the same time. So if we rub some meat on like one of the people and then the rest of us figure it out, tiger's is the easy one. And I don't have a cat, so I don't have any affiliation to cats in any way. So I'm gonna go with tiger. So that's 2 for tiger, one for ostrich, and then 1 for dragon from Julia in the chat.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
What we got?
I feel like I get a lot of quotes in this.
You do, yeah.
Yes. All right. Which brings us. I think that is our last question. Which brings us to the end of our show. Sue, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people see more about what you got going on?
Where can they see me? They can see me on Friday nights doing improv at the Armory. They can see me. When's our next sketch show? Our next sketch show is on November,
the 15th.
Weeks, I think. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Thank you. I'll be performing sketch also at the Tank. And you can follow me on the Instagrams for other updates and information. That's about it. Thank you so much for having me on the show. This was so fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for doing it. Heather, what do you got going on? What do you want to tell people about?
Wait, I got to throw out that now I understand your Instagram handle because I've now learned how to pronounce your last name. So now I get it, and it's that's such a smart handle. It's so good. I'm delighted. I'm delighted by that. I just looked at it and I went, ah! Anyway, I am also on the team with Sue and Dustin, so we have our show coming up on, as I just looked at it in print, the 11th? Yeah. The 11th?
15th.
The 15th? Great. Yep. We have a show coming up the 15th. And then, we have a musical improv and Sweet Valley High improv show coming up on Sunday, November 5th with at Young Ethels. Dustin and I are in the Sweet Valley High group. I am in the Red Shirts group. Other faces that you know and love from the Armory will be sprinkled in throughout this show. So come on out. It's going to be fun.
Cool. And
awesome.
And for me, you can always follow the Super Important Show, Super Important Stuff on Instagram and on YouTube, obviously. And I got a bunch of things coming up. Normally, I just say this show, but I got a few things coming up. Yesterday, Joey and I competed in the QED 2-Prov tournament, and we made it to the semifinals, which means we'll be performing again this Saturday at 9 p.m. Head down to QED and laugh at the things that we say in a good way,
nice.
And maybe we'll make it to the finals, and we could win fabulous cash and prizes. And then I will be in the other shows that we referenced earlier. So that's what I have coming up. Anyway, that has been our show. Again, Sue, thank you so much for being part of it. You were amazing.
Yay.
And see all of us performing at some time real soon. And we will see you again next week. Have a good evening.